Me and the dealer. And all of a sudden the cards are coming as fast as they can come, you know? And I'm like sitting there with my stack of $400 or $500. And I'm just like, okay, bring it, man. I know how I play my game. Like, I'm not afraid of your speed. And so I throw down $100 on a bet and I get an 11. So I'm like, damn straight, double down time, double down, lose it. Happens again, 3 hands later, $100. You think I'm going to go away from no, 11, double down, lost it. And no joke, in 3 minutes time, I had lost all of my money, $500. And then my wife came walking back to the table. They looked at me. I looked at them. Massive shame. I mean,
you probably played as many hands in that 3 minutes as you did in the prior 20, though.
It was bad. It was bad.
Chad, after the intro, I need to know what the heck you poured into that cup.
Mark, what are you wearing?
Breaking news.
A polo shirt? Hold on, JD. Hold on. Chad, breaking news. You poured White Claw into a glass, and then you poured something on top of it. What did you just make?
I looked at all the beer in the fridge, and I have all these seltzers that I want more. And so I'm just mixing them all into a glass.
That's
and
weird.
I'm going to see what they turn out to be.
That's weird.
Do we need to tell the story about Josh's comment yesterday?
Oh my lord! Okay,
yeah,
guys.
yes, but that comes later in the show. That's your midtro, Justin.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's see how long we get pissed off.
4 weeks ago, Brandon and I sat down for a serious meeting, and we decided, let's cut all the banter. Let's cut all the back and forth bullshit. Let's just get straight to headlines, not have no one cares about our little comments between each other. And
no, chat bar, please chime in on that. Yeah.
Let's start over. Let's pretend like you didn't hear any of that shit. And Brandon's little video is going, and I go in with breaking news. Thank you.
Do it again, Mark.
Oh, I will.
Mute Mark.
Mute him. Breaking news. Now listen up, people. The well-regarded and highly respected pension oversight of objective professionals has done an in-depth survey and concluded with utmost certainty. You ready for this, Chad? With utmost certainty that the integrity of the wheel of ice cannot be challenged, and that 100% of the time it lands on the retireholic that deserves it the most. These are undisputed facts. So let's spin it and let's see who deserves it most tonight.
I know what's going to happen now.
I'm just going to pop it right now after my comment last week.
I wish there was one that had all 3 of your fucking heads on it.
See, every time I say it's going to be me, it doesn't end up being me.
Now, if that's not like legitimately rigged, then I don't know what is right there, dude. You know exactly what you're doing. Oh, Mark pisses off JD, so JD sends Brandon a text. Yeah, all right, cool, guys.
Seriously, let's see if we can get some of those little panels on the pie to have all 3 of these guys' heads on it. Major Secure 2.0. So fun to say that these days. So fun to say that. Error puts catch-ups in jeopardy at the American Retirement Association's graph. It says he's giving us all the info on this thing. Did you guys read this? Did you have time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Justin? What's
Someone's
going on here?
Fired. That's what I think.
Really?
No, come on. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It just does. It affects, millions of Americans' ability to potentially save.
Does it though?
Contributions.
It's gonna get fixed. It's fine.
I love that comment about it taking 3 years to do secure shit.
Oh.
1.0.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting the buttons right now. So Brandon, you gotta hit it.
I'm with Guy Hawker. Like, it's not a big deal. I kind of was really excited to read it. Like, they got me with the headline, and I got in there going, "Oh shit, what's wrong? Like, what did those nerds figure out at the American Retirement Association?" Because that when they dig through that stuff, there's going to be things that don't line up, that don't make sense. And when I read this one, I'm like, okay, so this is clearly a clerical error. Clearly, we could get this thing fixed. It's not going to have an impact on anything.
Does it need to get fixed? Say it doesn't get fixed by 2024. According
to Brian Graff,
from everybody.
According to Brian Graff, then maybe I'm misquoting him, then we're screwed. We have to deal with it.
Well,
And I
did you?
think
That's
You
stupid.
old people.
I thought it was funny in the article, like it did make me laugh like that. I forget exactly what was said, but essentially Brian said, we don't even know if we're going to have to enforce it. The Treasury, he said, I'm not even sure the Treasury is going to have to enforce it. So they made
Let
us
it
come
slide.
back and be like, look, we suck at getting this passed and it took a while to get it fixed. So we're just not going to enforce. We're going to sidestep it for the time being. Who knows? I mean,
You
there's
would-
no way it's going to stop people from making catch-up contributions next year.
And
There's
there's-
not.
There's
not.
no way that you send it back through the whole rigmarole to get like a sentence put back in or something.
JD,
like
I
that
don't-
seems crazy.
See,
to me.
that's where I don't know the legal side of this. It might not just be there's no way they do that. If that is the legal steps to
It's what they
make this
signed,
change,
right?
then they have to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's
The question
funny-
is it going to take months or years to get done? Or are they going to be able
I'm
to
with
push
Guy.
something through?
I'm with Guy. We'll move on. It is a snore, but it is funny to think about like, oh, some little mistake, and then is it that big of a pain in the ass? I would have thought there'd be precedent here, and that this shit happens all the time, and that they just go, oh yeah, we made a mistake. Everyone understands. We've made the adjustment. No big deal. But anyways, that was fun. And Brian Graff, I mostly picked that article because I was hoping Brandon could play fucking Harry Potter butterbeer, but didn't set that up really well.
Did you see who contributed at the bottom to that article?
Butterbeer, yummy. Butterbeer, yummy.
Was it Sully?
Well, no, Sully wrote it. But at the bottom there, it said contributing person, one of them was Nevin. And I'm like, wait a second. Is he still keeping his hands involved in some of this
Yeah,
stuff?
he's
still
there.
around?
He
hasn't
Brett
left
Favre
yet
retirement,
either.
man.
He's there
I know
till February
that. But if I
something.
was him, I would have just been like, let me hop in my Mustang
I'm
and
out.
get out of Dodge.
In 2022, this Arcaire shit. Is that? I guess I
Yeah,
did.
that's
That's-
definitely a drink.
Sure.
That counts big time.
Added 14,500 plans in 2022. This is through 401k Wire. I was gonna not send you the article and ask you guys to guess who this record keeper was. If I had, would you have been able to guess?
100%.
I don't know if I would have
I
said
wouldn't have
them
guessed that.
first. No, they would have been in like my top 5, but not first.
Well, it was last week or the week before that we were talking about the Carson Group and their deal.
Yup.
With the deal with Vestal, yes. No, when I was talking about human interest and I was diving deep into their numbers and their success, and I went on that long rant. We were
That
shocked
long- yeah.
at how they were going to sell like 12,000 plans a year. And here it is live and in color. This actually happened. And it caught my attention before this article came out. I saw a Guideline promo and they claimed that they had north of 35,000 plan sponsor clients. And I was like,
Yes. Waiting for it, Samson.
you got to be an insider to know how dope Sansom's comment was right there. He's
Yep.
done that many times. I said, wow, what the fuck, 35,000? And I was, how did they get to that? Like last time I checked, they were at like 12 or something. Well, looks like I just found the answer to my question. Like they went fucking nuts last year. We have to stop here a little bit. You guys have to be blown away. Like this is a big dent in the marketplace.
Massive. And you saw through that article, they said the majority of the business came from the states that are forcing mandated retirement vehicles. And that's
So
where they're getting.
Cal Savers is your answer again to this,
They were
Chad.
low cost.
Well, it's
option.
one of the
they said in the
components.
article.
They said, I forget what the percentage was, but it was a high
84.
percentage from Oregon, Illinois, and California.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
they're so tied in that micro market space and startup space, they chew up a lot of that small business. And it just goes on to tell you, when you look at, they said 2 billion in contributions last year. Well, do simple math. I know there wasn't 37,000 during that year. So go a little bit lower, divided by 32,000. You're looking at about $60,000 of annual flow per plan
Right.
there.
They're
Like
startups.
these are
Well, they
teeny
also
They're
tiny
startups.
Didn't
little
they-
They
groups.
said the majority of them were.
They said this
Yeah.
very article that was like 90% of them are startups, right?
Well, yeah,
And
they're
then-
they're siphoning
No,
plans
I'm
through
not talking about
Gusto
assets.
too.
I'm talking about contributions.
Right.
I'm talking about contributions.
But both those things line up. The 60K in flow, and then them self-admitting that 90% of this is startups. Your points to the states that are having these mandates are all fueled as fire. Mark brings on the fourth one, which we're all aware of, which is they should be applauded for this. They successfully partnered with Gusto and some other payroll companies to actually make a dent there. So
Yeah.
kudos to them.
Mhm.
I really am eating crow here, to be honest with you. Like I remember seeing Guideline ads in New York when I was traveling there, just on little like bus stop signs and shit. And I was like, who these motherfuckers? Like, there's no way they're going to pull this off. And now here I am a few years later, and they've got north of 35,000 plans. I have been proven wrong. And
That's a
regardless
lot.
of whether they're small or not. Yes.
Sorry, I thought you were going to keep going, or I thought you were done. I don't think you have to eat crow quite yet. I mean, there was obviously last year the state-run plans helped out with that a lot, and yeah, maybe they had to change in their model, but let's see what happens in the next 2 years. We know through just word of mouth and whatnot, their service is terrible. Are we going to? Jim, I think mentioned in the comments too. Like,
How many have they lost?
how many are they going to lose, and how are we going to be able to clean up all that stuff? Or it's just really
We're gonna
something
have to.
right?
Well,
So
it's not like me to be positive on the disruptors, but they're
Here's-
helping the coverage gap.
They
I mean,
are.
shouldn't
Yeah,
we
for
be
sure.
shouldn't we be
which
saying
needs to
good
happen
for
because we're
them?
not doing it.
Call a spade a spade. They're a distribution channel. And right now that distribution channel is for the payroll companies and others, and they're doing a lot of business because of that. And I think in due time, much like the state plans, you're going to see many of those, much like the pooled employer plans, that need more, that want customization, that want knowledge, that want service, and they're going to end up rolling out of those kind of groups. Now, are they going to
Really?
continue to be a distribution channel and bring on significant volume? Yeah, I don't think Guideline's going away.
A couple of things. First of all, love Samara's jumping in on some design thoughts. Guy Hawker and I feel like are from the same mother tonight. Like I feel aligned with him. He says, "Why are we giving all that? We always give them shit when they're crushing it." Like
I'm
Who-
not
automatic data
who's giving him
processing-
shit?
giving them shit.
No one is.
Paychecks, automatic data processing. These disruptors.
Those are
every-
proven
no,
shit shows,
but-
JD.
But there you go. So you're saying they're shit shows. I think I'm aligned with Guy right now, going like, really, guys? Shit shows? They're successful businesses that are crushing it, selling a lot of business, making a lot of money, and by the way, helping the coverage gap at the same time. And we sit
JD.
around going, oh, they're not going to
Hey,
keep their clients. They're going to
hey,
lose
Guy.
them. Oh, they have a shitty business model. Oh, wah. Like, is that
Guy
really
and
all true?
JD, give your sales guys the opportunity to sell plans for $8 a participant and $40 a year and see how many freaking plans we bring in.
Yeah.
And that's with no bench board and billboards in New York. They're
Well, I got
buying
news
the
for you.
business
Like
with
bench boards.
bare bones minimum costs, and they're using
Guideline-
tech.
Guideline and human interest are not cheap from the client's perspective.
Guideline absolutely is.
Those are false statements. Like they still got to chuck out change to have those things.
I would disagree in comparison to the rest of the marketplace.
There'll be this. Oh, these don't chat directly to us. How dare
Let's
you?
see,
With such
40
a good comment.
$49 a
Jerry,
month,
chat to
JD.
everybody.
Is that's what Guideline is?
Yeah, $49 a month and $8 a month for each active participant. No transaction fees, no termination fees.
Okay,
That includes
so, yeah,
5,500 prep.
500 and then $90 a year, so whatever that math is.
Oh, and don't forget,
All right.
that's record keeping and
We'll move on,
administration. So
but
we'll
I-
go ahead and open up a bundled shop
We'll
and
move
charge
on.
that and see what we can bring on.
But I still do believe that we should be less talking shit and more learning from their success is my
Oh.
kind of Chad's nuggets for right
I
now.
want to learn from their
Never
distribution.
thought I'd
I
hear you
don't,
say that.
I'm absolutely in agreement with you there. And I
Okay.
think we have, and I think we are. We learn from the good. I'm not saying we want to do the administration like they do.
Do
but
you
we learn
guys,
from the good.
do you all know who Shlomo Bernardsi is?
Yeah.
Recognize that guy?
Mhm.
Yep.
He's my best friend.
When you hear his
Wedding
name,
crashers.
what do you think of him, Chad? Like, what has the industry taught you of this man?
My very first thought of him is Voya, because I used to listen to him talk through Voya channels back when I first started in the space.
Well, shame on you, because he's much more than just Voya.
But
He's just a hired
but
gun.
well, I'm just saying where I got connected to him. But over the years, I've listened to a lot of his content, and he is way too smart for me. But I really like his accent.
And his whole
You kind of look the same.
his whole
Otherwise.
spiel is behavioral finance. Okay, like that's what he spends his time thinking about, is how do we as a financial services industry communicate with, and that doesn't mean just verbally or through like tech stuff, but in all facets, to 401k participants, investors in general, and help them understand things that we all understand about compounding and putting a little more and budgeting properly and all these types of things. And so he's paid by the big companies to kind of for that intelligence and that guidance and the study that he does in that space. It is true that he also wants to supplement that with his own business, and God bless him. So he's built this thing called PensionPlus. I believe it's at PensionPlus can you say that? Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
there. And there's not much there to figure out what he's actually created. I think it's more of a wait list thing right now, where you can kind of put your name in. But this deal with OneAmerica, and I'm guessing he'll look to do more deals with record keepers, so they've blessed it. It looks to me, and I'm guessing here, but to be a thing where you put in a bunch of your specific information, and then it helps you determine how much you can draw from your savings, say on a monthly basis. And then I think in this case works with OneAmerica, and I'm making some guesses here, to have that actual distribution take place. So imagine he does a deal with another record keeper down the line. The same thing can happen there. You go online, you say, hey, I've got $500,000 at record keeper X. Do I drink for that? And I'm 72 years old, and I'm ready to start tapping in and getting a monthly retirement paycheck. This is my risk tolerance. This is my situation, whatever those questions they ask you. And then they'll work with that record keeper X to send me a check for $750 a month. Don't know my math on all that. How valuable do you think that is?
The participant, great. But what about advisors? How are they going to feel about that? Are they going to be managing the assets, or are they going to stay at OneAmerica through retirement?
Well, they would like this because the assets in theory would stay there. Everyone's got to tap into their money at some point, right?
Yeah, but wouldn't they prefer to go to an IRA?
Oh, roll it over.
Some sort.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Well, I think the thought, Justin, at least early on, is that this will be heavily utilized by people who wouldn't be leveraging an advisor anyways.
Right.
Okay. All right.
The folks,
Fair enough.
the folks who get left behind. We've talked about it for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 years now, on and off on the show. We've spent so much time as an industry focusing on putting money in the accumulation phase, and we've spent very little talking about the decumulation phase. Now, there are individuals out there that always have, but we've spent so much time trying to gather money that we really haven't focused heavily as an industry on how to help people maintain that money post their working career. And we've seen that now for 3 or 4 years, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of insight going into that space. It's exciting to me. And personally, JD, I think it's going to get more people saving too. I think more people will be comfortable in the fact that I can get some sort of guaranteed income in the future, and they may be more likely to sock away money knowing that it can be set in a program like this.
I think it's nice to have an alternative to all the talk of the guaranteed income and the annuities. And as far as I know, this has nothing to do with that. Although I guess it could partner with it down the line. But so that, to me, in its simplest form, this is an alternative to someone who's now getting some advice on, hey, this is how much you can pull from your account, and we'll set it up for you, versus going with the guaranteed type of annuitized type of stuff. So, but maybe I'm missing some of that, or his plans for the future as well.
Yeah, I want to learn more. I couldn't find any more on what it actually is, how it's
Well,
structured, what it's going to operate as.
Question that comes to mind too is, obviously in this particular instance, OneAmerica is an early adopter of Shlomo's, his PensionPlus, but there will be other record keepers who look at this and gauge the success or what they're doing and what they can change to either mimic something like this if it's adopted at a high rate, or other people are going to sign on. So maybe he could just kind of start checking off multiple record keepers, right?
A backup hackler on this. Roby with wisdom.
That's not wisdom. I'm saying obvious things, but what I'm saying out loud is, we have seen, to Chad's point, a lot of other things come and go real quick. So is this another throw it on the wall and see if it sticks approach, or is this really something different? Because I know it says first of its kind, right? So that anytime you see something like that, you're like, well, that's cool. That's something different. But I really, when you dig into it, it's like, well, just how different is it really? Because our industry doesn't really have that much that gets crazy different. It's not like earth-shattering stuff.
I have some potentially negative, pessimistic thoughts that I probably shouldn't share, but I think if you've got a big 401k balance, and I don't know what big means, but let's say 750.
$1 million.
Yeah, sure. $1 million, 2 million, and upwards. To Hack's point, 40k. Like, so let's think about what big ones are, not the 40k. They probably won't use something like this. They're going to work with an advisor, roll over to something, just in general, most of them. And so then if you look at the rest of them, and we sell plans these days where if the plan has an average account balance of 75k, that's a good average account balance, let alone 100k. But so think of the ones that have 200k, 100k. I won't even go lower. And what this monthly
$300 goes a long way toward retirement.
What this monthly check looks like to them, it's going to be pretty depressing. Like, again, I'm not doing the math. It's like, yes, you've signed up for the Shlomo whatever plus, and we will send you a check every month for $23.86. And you're like, well, okay, this is fucking stupid.
But JD, you're used to buying Lambos. Like that. That's meaningful for someone who's saved up $40,000 over their whole career, and then to see that they're going to have some sort of, even if it is small, they're living off much less and all.
I like to call you wrong.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
I get that the non-Lambo owning person would look at the 40k in their statement and go, sick, I saved 40k, and good for them. That's great. But when they see the monthly check that 40k is converted to, they're going to go, motherfucker, what? And so then if this, and I'm making up some shit here, but if this program doesn't work for the big account balances, and it's not really that sexy for the small account balances, where does it take off and succeed? But I don't know. Shlomo's far smarter than me. I reached out to Shlomo long before I saw this article. This was a few weeks ago, and I asked him he wanted to be a guest on the show. But he kind of gave me a bunch of different answers that were basically different versions of "I'll call you, don't call me." So we'll see. Sherry Fitz has a live event happening tomorrow. Are you ready to take over the digital world like a boss in 2023? Roby, can you do impressions? Can you do a Sherry Fitz impression of that intro right there? That title for me?
No.
Okay. January 27th, 2023. That's tomorrow, people. 2 to 3:30. Sherry, West Coast time, I'm assuming. And it is live via Zoom. So
Eastern time.
Okay. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And if you're a okay boomer out there, what this means is you just go to Sherry's LinkedIn page. Just go to her LinkedIn, go to her profile right around that time. You'll see the link. You'll see the ability to do it. So I know a lot of you boomers are going to be like, where's the code? Where do I go? Where's the website? Help me. It's on LinkedIn, you dumbass. Go to Sherry's profile. You'll find it. I was talking to you too, Chad, because I know you want to.
I know you.
No, Chad loves those QR codes, so he's good.
I asked JD to put them on our business card.
I know, dude. We all know.
Rebecca
know.
did a. Rebecca
You were
had that,
so offended when we said we didn't like that.
Actually, you know what? We should do something from the heart. We recommend that you tune into Sherry's thing, because if you haven't seen her in action,
No, JD, we endorse it.
we endorse it. We
And
do.
you just said from the heart. Who do you think gave me this heart?
Yep.
Right.
Ooh,
And
I
you
got
know
mine
what?
on my
got
desk.
mine right there.
I would say that is why we endorse Sherry. Mine is up in my closet. Is because she doesn't just give you PowerPoints with bullet points and kind of bullshit perspectives. Everything she delivers to you is very thought through. It's tested. It's original. There's a lot of, I say there's passion behind it. And a lot of those hoorah kind of social media kind of marketing people have a lot of fake passion too. Sherry's is legit. Like Sherry's is legit. It's for this industry. It's no bullshit. It's valuable. You walk away with tons of Chad's nuggets. And so check that out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, true. I guess we shouldn't say we endorse it unless she's okay with that, because that could be like bringing her brand name down.
I'll be there.
I think she's all right.
Oh,
Tesla shares pop over 9% on better than feared earnings results. This is from that website you see there. This is an article, yes, from them. I bring this up because Roby had told us we should all buy Tesla, and it's had some rough times since then. More on that later. Stay tuned, people. Drunk stock tips.
Oh, no.
Yes.
But yeah, it's popping off now. According to Elon, Tesla is primed into 2023 to sell 2 million cars or something, or massive problem.
Not out of the
Potential
reach.
to do 2 million cars this year.
I really think he
Those-
should send me one for what I've done for him and having people invest.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys that, so we'll save the financials for later. Are you all fans of the Tesla car? And has any of you put your hands on the steering wheel and hit that little electric gas pedal? Rob says no.
No.
Justin, have you driven one?
Mhm.
And what was your assessment, your thought?
I think the car's freaking awesome. They're
It's gnarly, yeah.
the construction of the cars dog shit, at least on the Model Ys. But
Why
the way it
do you
goes is
say
great.
that?
Yeah, why do you say that?
oh geez, the whole manufacturing on it's just terrible.
Like
nothing
things are falling
aligns.
off?
Hey,
Things are falling
Justin,
off, the
Justin,
whole
without
dashboard.
trying to act like an engineer, is
Yeah.
the car cool or not?
Yeah. What are
Oh,
you talking about? No, I think the tech is freaking sweet.
Now, I will say this: there
It's
are
awesome.
some
I still
Teslas
think
that
it's worth
people.
70 or 100 grand. If you're gonna buy a car for that much, that thing better be manufactured perfectly. I think you shouldn't have the hood
Dude,
be higher on one side and lower on the other side. And you shouldn't have
Wow.
the dash falling off and shit.
hashtag nerd alert.
I've not seen any of that
Yeah,
anywhere. I've
so
looked.
have
Yeah,
you-
I mean,
have
I've
you-
seen the ones that
Mhm.
people like that just takes them off cliffs and they crash and stuff. But other than that, I think the car's awesome.
Wow, you and Diane are tied up. She just sent us. finally.
Yeah, but dude, the one that happened out here, right down the way here on Highway 1, the whole family survived and they arrested the guy, and now they're saying maybe it wasn't his fault. So there's a whole little story going on there with that
Forgot
that.
Tesla.
We should probably give it some context, because in California, you see a lot of them. They're up.
Yeah.
Oh my god! When I drop my daughter off at school every morning, and they're all. By the way, it's either white or red. It's like Tesla, 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 and then my shitty car, Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. It's mind-boggling.
But I'm assuming you don't see a lot of them around Chad's neighborhood, do you?
I see. There's 2 in the town here, but it's a town of 600 people. Go percentage of population. That's pretty solid.
I think Elon takes it.
All I know is that we have a straightaway right by my house here. And one of my son's friends' dad had one, and he wanted to show it to me. And he goes, "Here, you want to drive it? You want to drive it? Take it, take it." And he was in the passenger seat. And we get on the straightaway, and he goes, "Go ahead, put your foot down on the pedal." And I've driven really gnarly sports cars that come at a very high ticket price before. I've never felt that kind of spaceship takeoff.
Oh, it's
Like,
insane.
it's a
It goes.
different feel, right? Like it's
Well, because it's just direct to the pedal. You don't
Boom.
you're not having to go through like the engine and combustion and all that shit to get
Yeah.
your wheels going.
Well, I took off in one, JD, in
You're
insanity
talking
mode.
about wasting time on banter, JD. You're not
And-
frustrated by this?
It was whiplash, man. Like I felt like my cheeks were shaking as I hit the
Mhm.
back of the chair. It was insane.
well, I think we're gonna mix things up then. I'll do the midtro. Welcome to the show, nobody. Thanks for not being here, nobody. Okay, took it care of for you, Justin.
Thank you,
And we
sir.
will go straight to drunk stock tips.
I've had one beer. This
Take a shot.
You also had a Smirnoff.
Yes, we drank.
I don't count those, Chad.
I had one beer.
All
There's
right.
Brandon.
Brandon has cautioned me on not taking you all through every single stock that Mark has advocated for or told you to sell, but I'll just hit a few
Buzzkill.
here. I'll give you an update, right? You want updates, I'm assuming, chat bar. He told you to buy Netflix at $199. It's at $364.87.
Why didn't I buy it? Dang it.
That's an 83.4% gain there. He told you to buy Apple at 142. It's up. Let me find the next one.
143?
Yeah, 143.96. He told you by Twitter. We all know the story there. You crushed it. You know, Elon bought it. You killed it. I think that was like a 24% gain or something. Home Depot at 269. It's at 313.81. He told you to sell Peloton because Peloton sucks. And but now they're up just a hair. They're up from 11 when you told them to sell it. They're at 11.8. Laird, you crushed it with a 42.86% advice for us to sell on that. Starbucks is up 12.1% since you told us to buy it. Bird is down, would have saved people 20%. Disney, you said buy at 90. It's at 109.7. That's a 21.89%. Okay. Actually, when you said Disney, you told us, quote, this place is like crack cocaine for kids. That should be their tagline. Why wouldn't you buy this? So you were very confident in all those. So
Why do you have notes, man? Don't track this stuff.
the only one who's got notes? Did I get something wrong? No. The only one you've steered us wrong on is me having notes. Yeah, I gotta check this shit. It was Tesla, which I mentioned. At 238, you told us to buy it. You're a fan of Elon. It's at 160.27. So
That's perfect. Now you just buy more.
right, thank you.
Yeah.
But what we'd like to ask you today, this company has a market cap of $218 billion, just north of 37. I was gonna say the word price to earnings ratio. Check swing.
I don't even know what that is.
The price to earnings ratio. It's how you value a company.
I'm just come on.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just yeah.
The net income for 2020
Playing the role a little bit.
was 5.8 billion. The stock has gone pretty up and down in the past year. It's had lows of 429 and highs of 60. Where is it today? Shit, I got to look it up. Back in 2018, though, the stock traded south of
Costco.
200. Thank you.
Waiting for that one.
Drum roll, Costco.
Oh,
You can buy
okay.
caskets, you can buy Kirkland boots,
If
television.
Disney is crack cocaine for kids, Costco's crack cocaine for adults. Okay.
Do you have a card?
Do I have a card? Yeah.
Where do you think all the booze gets purchased?
Okay, but time out. I don't fall for their tricks and I don't get the upgraded card where you get all the cash back and all those things. Okay, I stick with the lower price card just in case I just don't feel like going there and I don't get my full cash back because I don't want to deal with customer
on.
service. Okay.
Brandon, are you able to click on the 1 year instead of the 1 day while Mark's talking? I don't know. Maybe not. Sorry, Mark, go on.
So I think, and I can't recall who it was. There was another company that we did some quick evaluation on, and I hold a lot in terms of, now again, I only hear this through media outlets and maybe some people that have worked there or know people who work there, but knowing a little bit about the company, how they treat their people, to me is very important. Okay. And what I've learned from again, just very minimal information, but is Costco treats their employees very well. They pay them a lot. They do a lot of things right for the employees. And also, they've never once and will never ever raise the price of their hot dog plus soda combination of $1.50 or whatever it is. I don't.
You're
eat-
fine when
I
they
don't
raise.
eat-
You're fine when they raise your subscription prices, but just don't touch the hot dog.
Well, I don't even eat the hot dogs, but I'm just saying that is commitment, okay? And all I can say is every time I go to Costco, it is like you got to be ready to potentially get hit by a cart or hit someone else with a cart, or it's aggressive, it's loud, it's very chaotic. People have full carts all the time, overflowing with stuff. So in my mind, I'm stuffing the cart and I'm saying this is a buy, no doubt in my mind.
Now that we've gone through that, can I say, I think I counted close to 15 for Mark and 5 for JD. I'm pretty sure that stands for cost company, and the CO on the back end is short for
Let's
that.
find out.
So I think you guys might need to handle a whole bottle.
Chat bar, let us know what you think.
I disagree. For obvious reasons, I
Doesn't stand for
disagree.
anything.
Researching.
Name
I,
Costco does
not,
not stand
because
for
they
anything.
started as Cost Company and
Of course,
changed the name to Costco.
They're
But
safe.
that's not an acronym.
Acronym.
Yeah.
That they're just shortening it.
Okay.
I feel like I could come up with a few
C
others.
stand for
Costco
company,
Wholesale
then
Corporation,
maybe.
trading as Costco.
I mean, we've talked about abbreviations counting in there. I would consider that an abbreviation.
What
Yeah.
abbreviation? What abbreviations? We've never done that, have we?
Okay.
No,
All
I've
right.
never done that.
Even more reason to buy.
Quiet Mark and I. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. And of course, hacklers in the chat are going, drink, motherfuckers, drink.
Well, you still owe us drinks for not abiding by Secure 2.0.
Let me ask
I
you.
just got to get the booze.
Let me ask you guys this. I don't go to Costco. So it's been a long time since I've stepped foot in one of those places. I go to super posh grocery stores down the street where we pay extra and it feels good to pay extra. When you go to Costco these days, you buy the Kirkland brand, right? And I was told through friends, I'm just based this on vodka, but I'm assuming it's other things too, that behind the Kirkland label is actually like really dope brands. You just don't realize it. Have you heard this before?
Did golf balls used to be Pro V's?
No, so that's those balls, and they came out for just a short period of time. They were 4-piece golf balls that were made at the same plant that the Titleist balls. I don't know if that one counts either. Now I'm scared. But yeah, anyways, affordable for the common family and person. JD, sorry. There's a lot of reasons to like Costco, especially. Yeah, you could like literally buy a TV during the Super Bowl. People do this all the time. 75-inch TV, and then watch the Super Bowl because you have a small TV, and then return it the next day. They don't even ask you why. They're just like,
I don't know
okay.
you did that with a mattress like 6 months later.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
They
let you return food when it's open.
For the person who doesn't go in there, it used to be sold itself based on bulk. Like you'd go and you'd buy like.
Oh, it's still that way.
Is it still that way? Like
yeah.
Buy
Everything's
diapers.
You're getting
bulk, yeah.
cases of beer are 36 beers instead of 30 beers. Like
Big.
Everything is a little bit extra.
I'd imagine this is pretty popular out in Missouri.
Hey,
right?
I have to drive to
Walmart.
St. Louis to get Costco.
Oh,
we have
shit.
Sam's Club here.
Okay. Similar kind of thing though, yeah?
Same
Club?
concept.
Is there weird things that you can buy at Costco? Like what does the products run? Is it everything?
Dude, there's a $400,000 diamond wedding ring for sale at Costco.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
could you
some-
imagine
there's some
telling your
odd
spouse I
stuff
spent
there.
$400,000 on our wedding ring and I bought it from Costco?
I saw
I just
online
don't
you
feel
could
like it
buy
carries the same weight.
you could buy caskets from Costco.
Buy a 401k. They were wheeling and dealing 401ks a few years ago.
Do you remember our old guest? Chad Parks was behind that.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? The Ubiquity guy.
Chad, if you're calling us out for Costco, you're saying it a lot, just so you know.
Because you
No,
guys
we
said it
already-
was
Okay.
not.
Okay.
So I've
Okay.
committed now.
All right.
You've all heard it here. Robe guy says buy Costco at today's
I'm in my TD
rates.
Ameritrade account now.
I will say this that counts, Chad. that it's pretty high up there in terms of the price. I was surprised to see what the stock price was, but not to worry. It's going to go higher.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
And then hold on, run the clips of the disclosures. It's not legal advice. Okay.
Yeah. The disclosure is if you do not follow Rogue Guy's advice.
Yeah, that's my disclosure. Yeah.
Okay, Chad, you've walked the halls of SageView. You've worked with some of these advisors at SageView. I'm sure the boys have too. SageView tees up a new financial education platform. This is from our friends at the National Association of Plan Advisors. Why do I bring this up? Here we go again. Everyone is focused on, yes, for lack of a better term, monetizing the participant. And God bless them when it's the advisor firms, in my mind. Every time I'm pushing against this kind of stuff, it's when it's the record keepers or the large Fortune 500 companies that are sliding in to do the business. No, here's an actual advisor shop working to build their own and bring it to market, put someone in charge of it, Carrie Woods. And so anyways, Chad, you work with these guys. Is this a good move for them? And do you think their advisors think this is an opportunity?
I guess my challenge would be, what's the negative? Money spent perhaps is the only negative there. Yes, I think it's a fantastic idea. It's where we need to be going as an industry, not the monetizing side, but the servicing side, helping participants with what they actually need. Remember, I've said for years, how to spend their next dollar is not always in the 401k. They need financial education. They need wellness tools. And so I would, if I'm in that space where I have that large of a group of advisors that have this many 401k plans, I'd be doubling down on that side of things.
And I've said this before, I feel like sometime now or in the future, if you're an advisor, you may lose a client to like a SageView, and you'll ask the client, why did you leave? I've been doing a bang up job. I've been showing up for fiduciary review meetings. And they're going to say, oh, well, SageView came in and they said they can help us not only with the 401k plan, but they can help our people with the retirement readiness, and they can help them with financial planning, budgeting, mortgages, home, car, insurance, all that kind of stuff, financial planning. And so, and you're going to go, oh shit, I lost that. That could become the norm. And so I like to see companies like SageView realizing that and ramping up their solutions. And I think every advisor should be looking at how they can do something similar, whether through partnership or whether through proprietary solutions or whatnot. So we've talked about it. This, to me, when I put these articles up and I want to talk about it again, to me, it's just proof that this is happening. And it's the writing's on the wall.
What's interesting that I heard from you there, JD, which we hadn't really talked about with much of the emerging technology, is if it becomes mainstream, then it's no longer a differentiator. And so you have these early adopters that are using it right now. But if it is pushed and pushed well from the majority, it's no longer going to be something you can hang a hat on. So what's next?
In my situation too, I wasn't necessarily talking about the hang the hat on, but that would be great, Chad, in the beginning of it, right? To win new business. I was saying you're going to lose fucking business if you don't have it. So your point backs me up. Like,
yeah, they're all going to have it. Everyone
will have it. And if you don't, then you're some small advisor with 100 clients in some geographical area. And you say, wellness, readiness, financial planning, that's not for me. I'm a 401k pro through and through. You're going to watch your business, a book erode over the years, and that would be a horrible mistake for you to make.
Yeah.
Be my point. So good for SageView. I saw a 3-piece in the chat bar asking if he's setting me up when he asked me if there's any wellness companies out there and planning companies. I've been spending some time with him. We've been chatting, talking shop, and I am blown away at the amount of technology companies that are entering this space of planning and wellness and readiness, and they come from all shapes and sizes and different approaches. And so if you're an advisor and you don't think there's solutions out there for you to snap on, there are a shit ton in all kinds of different areas and all approaching it from different standpoints. And hopefully over the course of the next year, 2 years, we can start to spotlight some of those on this show, and we have in the past. Some of
I was
them,
going to say we have, and a lot of them aren't even around anymore.
some of them aren't.
Yeah.
And that's part of that kind of space. Or they've been bought. You know, old Buffington of 401kplans.com was bought to the tune of freaking tens of millions of dollars or something. So, or north of $10 million. Sage View. Let's talk sales, since we've got 3 of the sharpest sales dudes in on this podcast today.
He's talking about himself, Mark, not you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
No. I will always remember Chad's comments to me when I talk sales, when he says to me, when's the last time you sold a plan, JD? And I was like, oh fuck, I just got put in my place, bro. You know, we got Secure 2.0. We got this coverage gap. We've got Guideline selling 14,500 plans. We've got hundreds of millions of dollars of money going into, you know, venture capital backed disruptors. They feel like Guideline's because they feel like that times are changing over the next few years. But is everyone ready to sell startups? Because you guys have been doing it for a long time. I was recently on a call with an advisor. He was excitedly telling me about how he was going to reach out to his group of advisors underneath him and help them close plans. And he started to talk to me about vendor comparisons and comparing Voya to Nationwide to Principal. And I stopped him in his tracks. And I'm curious if Chad or Mark or Justin, you think I'm wrong here, because when's the last time I sold a plan? I said to him, hey, startups are not about vendor comparisons. Startups are about design, getting the client comfortable with like what the cost is going to be, what their hands are tied, or what they're committed to from a matching standpoint. Like, it's a lot less sexy in a very different world of sales. So that's what I wanted to ask you guys about today. What are some good strategies for selling startups in these next few years that differ from takeovers? What are the pros? What are the cons? What are some misunderstandings that are out there, like the one I just mentioned? I'll start with you, Roby.
Well, first off, I would say to some regard, I appreciate your points and I agree with most of them, but I also think that maybe not a comparison per se, but knowing which, again, I know we're saying vendors, but which record keepers are truly doing startup plans that are effective, that offer what these advisors need to run these plans, because obviously they don't want to spend a shit ton of time doing it. So that's the first thing, is that, I mean, a comparison, yeah, you're gonna want to talk to those folks and know if they're a good fit for that size of plan in that marketplace. Sorry, Chad, I know you're chomping at the bit here, but I'm just gonna talk really slow.
Well, Chad, I mean,
but
you tell me it's definitely it's a different style, right? It has to be. It's totally different than takeovers.
What I was laughing about is we just talked about Guideline bringing on, you know, tens of thousands of plans in a singular year. They're not running comparisons in doing so. They're selling a product. Now, do I think running a comparison is a way for advisors to show skill set, especially those that maybe don't focus in this place? They're like, oh, check me out. I ran a request for a proposal and I put these side by side. Look what I can do. I think they're using that as a crutch instead of getting after what the client actually needs, which is design, support, operational efficiency, and making sure that the plan's going to accomplish what it needs to accomplish and doesn't burden the client with a whole bunch of overhead. So no, I don't think a comparative is necessary. You're saying techniques, JD. If I'm an advisor, I am like on the back of my hand understanding the tax credits. I'm understanding how to communicate those credits, and I'm spending a shit ton of time. I'm spending a shit ton of time talking about operational efficiencies with payroll integration. In fact, if I'm going to go after, and I was asked this question, I'll drink for it. Itzo texted me like maybe Tuesday night, and he asked if an advisor was focused.
That's actually two, because you're name dropping it personally. Like, look at me.
If an advisor was focused only in the startup space, how many plans could they take on a year? And I started thinking about it and I wrote back, depends on what kind of service they have. Do they have an office behind them? Are they using one product with the same lineup across the board? Are they going to use tools to deliver fiduciary review meetings? I said, my thought is they could probably do 50 plans comfortably, startup plans comfortably in a year and do it well. And so much of that has to do with creating efficiencies for the advisor practice, but also for the client. You should be pushing clients to have payroll integration in the startup space. If not, use a company like Payroll Integrations or many of the other ones out there that snap on in between. You should be pushing them for all the data all the time. You should be encouraging them to look at what their hiring practices are and use an eligibility period that can be tracked and create ease for that HR. That's 3. Nobody talks about that stuff. They just want to sell the plan and move on, which is why there's issues with Guideline and paychecks and automatic data processing. You're welcome, Mark.
I don't know if we'll get into Sherry's part tonight, but I appreciate her writing the 2,500 per plan. I think that's a good starting point, but we'll skip the comp side of it, but that can be challenging.
Yeah.
So it's good that Sherry brings that up, as the comp's a little different on startups and takeovers. But you also can hope and pray that those things grow over time and you leverage them for proper comp down the line. It's funny that you said payroll integration, Chad, because I thought you were going to go more staircase. And so Chad's famous for his magical staircase. And I thought you were going to say, look, I think a business owner that's trying to set up a plan is a lot more interested in the functionalities of setting up the actual plan and how it works, the match, the profit sharing, if any, what they're committed to, what they're not committed to, what could be discretionary, the eligibility, how to enroll people, like all these like really unsexy things. But you're smart, Chad. When you say payroll integration, that's been the fuel to Guidelines and human interest and the payroll company's success. So it's clearly what the prospect wants to hear. The nerd in me would say to you, like, really, is payroll integration that fucking important for a 7-person startup plan? I might argue on that, but you're right from a sales standpoint, so I'm wrong. I mean,
they don't operationally, they don't want to touch it. And JD, don't forget, you asked what we're doing moving forward. Remember, there's going to be a lot of people auto-enrolled moving forward. The conversation of the staircase is blown up and has to be be I can't do what I've done for the last 15 years.
Oh, because they're all automatically
same way.
enrolled. Yeah, well, a lot of its core concepts are still true, but you're right. The automatic enrollment puts a different twist on it. But you're still, there you go, though. It's still, to me, that's the point, is you're still a design consultant with startups, and you're less of a product salesman. And if you went in there as a salesman, saleswoman, and you said, here's the product, here's the investments, here's the fee structure, I think you might walk out of that point of sale and your consumer who's supposed to make the decision, the buyer, is going like, oh my God, they didn't answer like so many of the questions I needed answers to. And I felt like they're just selling me something. Whereas if someone walked in and really structurally helped them with how it's going to look, you seem like you're not so sure I'm on the right page here, Chad.
No, I'm saying you are on the right page, but my hesitation there was, JD, they don't know what questions. They're not asking questions, dude.
No. But if they don't know what the plan's going to look like, then and you walk out, I'm not going to buy, because you know what they're worried about? You said match, and they're thinking to themselves, fuck, I have to make a match. Like, what's that going to cost me? And when do I have to do it? And how much will it cost? I thought I heard him say I could do a profit share. What does that mean? Jesus Christ, is that more money I need to put in? How long do I have to keep this 401k plan? Am I allowed to get out of it, not get out of it? Like, they're worried about, they're a small business, so they're worried about how much they're committing to. And so if you start talking about
For sure.
Voya and T-Row and investments and mutual funds and share classes and expenses, you're just scaring the fuck out of them. Like, they're worried they're getting into something they're not prepared for, in my mind. And so you should take a different approach.
I think you're right. I know you're right.
You don't have to say I'm right, but
No, it's the same. It's what we've been doing for years. Yeah. Do we come in with multiple vendors to show independence? Often we do, but do we ever actually dive through those as a sales technique? No, on startups,
Right.
never.
No,
Ever is it used as a sales technique. We've already built all the rapport through everything you just described. And the issue on the vendor is usually What would you recommend to our advisor partner question from the client?
Yeah, they're just looking at cost at that point.
To me, it's almost scarier to go into and sell, like almost more difficult to go in and sell in a startup market because of what you just said, Chad, the things that the buyer doesn't know. And so the art of it is
I
being
think it's
able
just the opposite.
to teach them, where in the takeover place, people know what's going on. So they have certain assumptions and you can talk about those products, but in the startup space, and I'm not trying to promote a TPA, a third party administrator.
Oh, I call that a check.
No, you got to 2.
He said 2
But-
letters.
But
Yeah,
if
that's what I'm
you
saying.
if you don't know the mechanics of a lot of this stuff, let alone the tax credits like you're talking about, I feel like you could find yourself in a lot of hot water with a startup plan. Justin,
If you
feel
don't
like I'm
know,
off
yeah,
base?
but that's what your partners are for, like us, and go there and handle those type of conversations. But I think, contrary to your point, I love selling the startups because it's an opportunity to get pretty intimate with a client and teach them
Whoa.
what they don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, I should. Yep, exactly.
Hey now.
But they're often
Raul.
they're often, at least in my experience, you're not competing for business. It's very rare that you are,
Yeah.
right? So you have a chance to have one-on-one interaction to
But-
really teach them how to save
That's
money.
fair.
They don't realize that all these costs they're putting in are a tax deduction on the backside. And we got these
Twofold
tax
to that
credits right
comment
now.
though, Justin,
Good
don't
though.
forget, we're being brought in, right? The advisor has already kind of competed for the relationship and they're bringing us in as the third party administrator, which is usually why
What
we're
you think?
not,
I've been getting my own.
we're not
business.
competing. But JD, did you see guys comment in the chat bar?
No,
Do you
no.
think Guideline did this level of work for 14,000 plus plans? Absolutely not, which is why so many of those are going to be designed
No, but we might
incorrectly
be
and have
able to learn,
issues.
but we might be able to learn from that. That's a good one. No, because you know what I think they did? They partnered with Gusto for sure on a lot of this stuff, but they're also really good at, and this is the same way that Paychecks and automatic data processing sold too. And this is how they all market themselves, the disruptors. And so the sales meeting should reflect the way they market themselves, which is to Chad's point earlier. Look, we're going to do payroll integration, so you don't have to do jack shit. So and they're lying, by the way, there's still things you need to do, but that's how they sell it. Like,
Yeah.
go with me and we will completely take everything off of your desk for you.
You know-
It'll be done for
Yeah, because
you.
that's one of the most common questions I get asked. Happened today. What do I have to do? What are my responsibilities once I set?
Okay,
set the-
look at this, Justin.
JD,
Look, hang on. Look at this to Justin.
no.
One second though. You guys could say the same thing. What does a
we
third
just
party,
have more integrity.
but what does a third party administrator do? They take a bunch of shit off of your
don't
desk
know.
and do it for you. So if you were just slick, you would say, oh my God, you come with us. We're basically like an outsourced fucking, fiduciary. We take everything you need to do, your testing, your 5,500 prep, and we do it all for you, your document.
They never
That's where
have
we
to-
blow it. Chad says we have integrity, and that's true. But what we lack is the sales skills of those companies that are selling 14,000 plans. a year.
No, time
Because
out, time
they
out.
say,
Wow.
We
easy,
lack the
Wow.
marketing and
cheap.
advertising, JD. It's not the
No.
sales. I guarantee you, I don't take any of their sales
I don't
folks
understand.
to school
You should be
on
going
how to
in-
speak to a client, on how to advise a client, on how to support, how to run a point of sale. You think one of their sales folks could hold a match to what these guys do? No, they're not selling
But-
plans. They're getting plans.
but they're getting them through saying it's easy to do, it's low cost, it's done for you. And so if you can learn anything, you're right. I'm telling you, you're right. But the reason that they close on those 14,000, like this little microcosm of a study here for you, is telling you what the client wants to hear. And so you're right. Through marketing and sales, they've been given the opportunity to reach these large numbers, but they've clearly figured out what works. And it's telling them that there's nothing for them to do. It's a piece of cake. It's low cost. And
Yeah.
this is the way to do it. And then TPAs, I'll drink,
Oh.
run around the country pitching the opposite, saying,
I don't think any of us pitch the opposite.
Oh
We
my
just
God,
actually.
when's the last time you went to Aspa? I'll drink for that. Have you met those people? Have you heard them talk about what they do?
Those folks are few and far between in terms of the volume being or not.
It'd be fun to like throw in a regular Chad and then be able to throw in like a robo Chad like at the same time and see how both situations played out. And if Chad was like, no, we're not saying it's super easy, but we're going to take care of a lot of stuff for you. But there are some important decisions that we want you to make along the way. And we're going to be there, however you do it. And you do a phenomenal job. And then the Robo Chad comes in and they say, how does this work, Robo Chad? And Robo Chad goes, oh, it's a fucking piece of cake, bro. Basically just sign right here. We'll take care of the rest. It's cheap. We do it for you. Bada bing, bada boom. And Robo Chad would fucking crush like honest Chad. I don't
For
know.
sure.
So I
And
don't know.
every employee at Plan Design Consultants would quit because every plan was blowing up and complaining and calling in because things weren't working. Now,
God.
hold on. I'm going to give you 2 quick examples.
Garbage
JD. One,
in, garbage out, buddy. It's
remember
beautiful.
when you and I, earlier in my career, we went over to a pooled, I'm not going to call it a pooled employer plan. It was a professional employee organization, I think is what it is. And the employer asked, so you guys are going to pay our match. And you and I sat in this point of sale and we're like,
Yeah.
no. And he's like, well, that's what my professional employer organization, they pay my match for me. And we're like, no, that doesn't happen. The flip side of that nowadays is that, oh, my record keeper, my volume shop tells me that I'm only allowed to save 2% of my pay. And I'm like, no, that's not true. They're like, no, that's it. I'm only legally allowed to save 2%. I'm like, no, that's not true. You just don't have a safe harbor. You don't understand the testing. You can save more than that. You can't under your current design. Like, well, shit. Nobody ever told me that. They told me I'm only allowed to save 2%. I'm like, yeah, it's because they're not advising you properly. Nobody's spending any time.
You know
I
what's
get that
funny?
on probably 40 to 50% of
If
those
you-
takeover groups.
If what you're saying is true, and we can wrap up, do chat for champion and talk about what we delivered to it. So I'll drink for that. Fuck. If what you're saying is true, I'm going to go super optimistic right now for everyone listening in and for you guys. If that's true, Chad, and they're bringing in these guidelines, bringing these 14,500 plans, but setting them up kind of incorrectly. Same's happening at Human Interest. Same's happening at low cost provider names we've heard about forever. And then Secure 2.0 fuels this like new fucking tidal wave of new plans over the next 3 years because of the tax credits and everything. And this is what Brian Graff says, from the American Retirement Association, Q Butterbeer. We could be in line.
Butterbeer, yummy.
For a massive tidal wave of our own of the fallout from all this shit. Like you could be calling on existing plans that were set up and things are going wrong. They hadn't heard about what you just talked about, Chad, that they could have a safe harbor, they could do more, whatever. I mean, this could be a heyday. This is fish in a barrel.
4 years ago, when we were talking about very similar topics, I said, I think the next step for the third-party administrator community is to go back to individual fix-it project work and heavy consultation. Because I don't think a lot of these plans are going to want to leave their comfort of the gusto, guideline approach, but they're going to need someone to clean up the shit that's been left behind and to make it work moving forward.
I don't know who wants that job, but yeah, maybe. I was just saying no, but I know you believe this too, because it's what we've lived off of for a long time, but there's also a lot of takeover opportunity there to walk in and say, hey, look, they haven't been serving you well. You've missed out on this, and this opportunity. And we need to actually think about what that looks like. Like, can we scan 5,500 to find that new vulnerability in these new plans that were those 14,000 plans that were put in by Guideline last year? Like, where are they going to go wrong? How can we x-ray that and find that out? Is that one? Shit.
I don't know.
What'd you say?
I know we're moving on, but some food for thought that I don't know the answer to. How many of these plans that a Guideline created last year or set up last year actually have an actual deferral percentage test issue? How many of them actually have people participating versus not?
Oh, I would think a very high would have a.
I don't know, because if you look at
issues.
I don't know. When I think logically about the type of groups they're bringing on, my thought is these are very small businesses where the owners are probably not profitable. That's why they didn't have something in place already. That's why they're not working with an advisor. That's why they went to something super cheap. And so they probably aren't in a position where they have highly compensated employees, saving. And so maybe
Well,
it's not an issue.
And
Maybe
Jim
I'm
brings,
barking up the wrong tree.
Jim brings up a good example too, Sampo. Don't forget going forward. I mean, this wasn't true last year with the 14,000 at Guideline, but going forward, they'll be auto enrolled. And what everyone's going to probably auto enroll them at 3% to start. So you'll at least have the owners able to do 5%. And then you might be right, Chad. You might have owners of these companies that aren't doing all that well. But I don't know, even if your owner is doing moderately okay, you finally get the gun to your head to put a 401k plan in place, and you're making 100K or something, you're probably still going to try to throw 10K in there or 8K or something. And so you're going to fail that test when your non-highly comps are averaging 3% or 4% or something. So I don't know, but I would think you'd have a lot of failed tests, but who knows? I don't know.
Chapar champion.
Yeah. Last week's Shepard champion was, we can't say his name on the show, otherwise you have to drink for it, and I think I owe too. And I had to this afternoon in the course of my busy day go, all right, JD, you promised everyone you weren't going to order from DoorDash again, so you got to figure out what app you're going to get to send some fun stuff to Itzo.
What
So-
happened to Tarjay?
I just said his name. So I signed up for Instacart, so I can go to companies like Tarjay and have them pick up things. Do you dash at Tarjay? I didn't know I could. Boomer move on my part. And I ordered 17 items from the Dollar Tree store. By
We go from $103 last week to $17 this week.
well,
huh?
no, the total bill was like 60 something bucks or something because I ordered numerous of many things.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Oh.
buddy, this is showing up to Itzo's.
There's
By the way,
that picture right there is a store that JD has never, ever gone into.
I also have to drink again for saying his fucking name again.
I wonder if they'll be on Mark.
All right, we did one 20-ounce pack of spaghetti because spaghetti is good. Spa Naturals coconut oil moisturizing cream because I thought Itzo could get a little help with his skin. I got him the old school Barbasol thick and rich shaving cream. You know the old
Yeah.
school.
Oh, yes.
The blue and red. Oh yeah.
Pre-foamed.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't do that kind of thing, but I'm assuming that's still relevant, right? I got him 8 ounces of Kraft Ranch Classic dressing. You always need ranch, right? For
Oh.
8
sure.
ounces is like a shot glass of ranch.
I got him a 4-pack of new toothbrushes because, fuck. A snack pack of pudding triples, chocolate vanilla.
That's a good call, man.
I got him a 2-pack of, and I actually got him 2, so 4 new sponges, and then the sponges with the Brillo on one side.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got him a pack of the, red Solo cups. I got him
Yeah.
little mini shot glass ones.
Ooh,
Nice.
good call.
I'm not
This is
sure. how
quality,
many.
JD.
Mhm.
I got him 2 5-packs of Top Ramen, the original
Ooh, yeah.
original beef flavor. I got him a Lysol toilet bowl cleaner with lavender field scent. So you squirt it in the bowl. Hey, everyone's got to clean their toilet bowl. I got him some old El Paso taco seasoning, the original. I got him Hot Pockets. I got him some Fisher Boy fish sticks.
All this
I got-
shit is going to be on our rider for our next
Hey,
show.
I got him some Mead envelopes, your classic white envelopes. You always need envelopes for
Always.
something. He's a busy
Who mails
businessman.
shit anymore?
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got him some whiteout correction fluid. When you make a mistake on the envelope, you want to white it out.
Does he
Right,
put that
that's-
on his computer screen or what's he
I
doing?
don't know. Does anybody use whiteout anymore? I thought that was so cool. Like,
Yeah, I use it. I did use it to paint my nails.
I mean, you got to
keep
be
my
using the
shoes
whiteout
real
tape.
shiny.
that's how old I am. When I was in 401k, we actually had typewriters in the office and we had whiteout for shit.
When I was in 401k, you're not in it anymore.
Oh,
No,
not
he doesn't
really.
sell anymore. Remember?
Come on, Chad.
Oh, Webby, we sent ramen, dude.
Chad, I'd like you to say that more on the show. That should be your one-liner. Say
What?
it for me. When's the last time you
When's
sold
the
a
last
plan?
time you sold a plan, JD?
Yeah, that's good. There's some
Apparently everybody's enjoying Chad saying shit ton.
Let's keep going. I got him some Hunt's tomato ketchup. I got him some Sour Patch Kids little pack.
Ooh,
I got
smart.
Like a lot more than 17 items.
Swedish fish.
Oh,
Swedish
good.
fish,
Good
right?
call.
Swedish
Good
fish.
call. Yeah.
Some Haribo Gold Bears gummies. You know the gummy bears.
Yeah.
And these are real gummy bears. Josh, you can feel free to eat them. There's nothing tricky about them. I got him he should relax. He's building this company, Fiduciary Works. He works very hard. I got him a detoxifying charcoal face.
Diabetes.
No, not a lot of diabetes here. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I
Oh,
got
those are that's
I got
Jeez,
2
JD.
packs of those because those are sick. The Magic Eraser.
yeah, they're so cool. Yeah.
I got him some Reynolds wrap, aluminum foil. You know,
Everybody needs that.
when you made too much of that top ramen, you can just put
They
it
got
in
a lot of
aluminum
brand
foil.
name items there. I wouldn't have expected Reynolds and Kraft.
Insert your best Irish leprechaun accent. I got them some Irish Spring deodorant soap, the original, you know. And then
It
lastly,
sounded a little Spanish.
and his wife's probably not going to like this. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I got him. The brand is called Very Quick, and it's 99% accurate, and it just takes 3 minutes. It's a pregnancy
test.
test. There you go. There you go. All right, and I am voting for I hate Guideline tonight because Guideline sucks. Sorry, Guideline sucks is my vote. Guideline sucks. Your vote, Justin Silent J McNeil.
Oh, it was a good one tonight, but yeah, he took the win for me too.
Ooh,
Yep.
he's
A lot
won
of
recently.
a lot of
so
good shit.
This
in
is
the
some
chat bar
greatest
today.
of all time stuff happening because he has one
Mhm.
recently. Unless the boys can challenge this, Chad, you can
Oh,
work
my-
together too if you want to.
There was a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
tonight, but for the sake of mention on the show so many times with good banter, I'm going Guy Hawker.
Good. That's a
Yeah,
good
he's
one.
Good. Yep.
All right, Roby.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't unless you
yeah.
go for Guy.
Then what happens?
And Brandon's got to break it.
Yeah.
You
No.
can vote and we can make them chat in the chat bar for the
Yeah,
winner.
no, I okay.
Like that?
Yeah, Guy.
All right. Classic old school tie. We have got Jim Sampo
One
who's
sentence.
tied with Guy Hawker. Mark, keep using your brain here because you're the one. You're gonna have to answer or finish Mark's sentence the most creative way you can. You've got about 30 seconds to do it.
The Samso and Hawker.
And
are the
we
only
will,
two.
it will be clear who the winner is. So Mark, take it away, Robbie. What should they?
Okay. I'll say this. Finish this sentence. My favorite thing to do on Thursday nights is blank.
Okay. Let's look for it. They're thinking right now. One of them wants to get really sexual with it. The other one's thinking farts and poops. I don't know.
My guess is Guy Hawker is not thinking about either of those things.
Oh, wait. I like how the rest
Oh,
of the
it's-
audience is getting in. Open a
Nice,
beer
Tom.
and watch Seinfeld is what Hawker says. Conrad's got my vote. He could come from behind with the use of my magic eraser.
Oh,
Wait, did we get an answer from Sampo yet?
Yeah, that's right
Yeah,
there.
yell
Yell
at my wife for
for
watching this silly
show and say that Guideline sucks. Roby, I'm going to let you break that one since you did the question. Roby, did you freeze
What?
me?
Oh, dude, I was like, where did everyone go? It just
You want Sampo or you want open a beer and watch Seinfeld?
I'm gonna go with the non-traditional answer here that everyone expects from me, and I'm saying the winner is Guy Hawker.
Okay, Guy Hawker. Congratulations, Guy. You are today's chat bar champion. Guy, I know we chat from time to time. I'm not certain I have your home address, so I would like to know where you would like this stuff sent next Thursday. And it won't be Dollar Tree. We'll be somewhere else close to your house. We'll be the Retireholics will be shopping for you. And
It'll be Dollar General.
I was supposed to involve you guys. If you're available next Thursday, let's do a Zoom around noon.
Oh, wait, next Thursday. No,
Oh, you're out. Are you guys
Chad, no.
You guys are at the Pebble?
Oh,
I don't know where we're gonna be, but yeah,
definitely not going to be here next
Pebble
Thursday.
Beach.
You
Okay.
motherfuckers.
All right. Thank you everyone for tuning
Week
in.
off.
Thank you to tonight's guest. You've been one of the most intelligent guests we've had in a long time. We appreciate you and love you. Yeah. Hashtag guideline sucks. We'll see you next week.
Jeez, no.
You know, I tagged. Oh, you know what I need to learn about this show?
What?
People listen, and you might think to yourself, oh, no, it's live. Like we see who's here. But no, it's recorded. People listen.
I get so much shit the next day.
Yeah. And when
So
I
much.
talk shit about a guideline.
Oh, okay. No, timeout. Perfect
Yeah.
story time. Perfect. So
Go.
real quick to end the show.
Yes.
Justin has to tell it because I'm not a good storyteller. I'm long-winded,
I'm
but
a
really
terrible
quick.
storyteller.
All right, then Chad, say it.
Yeah, that's all
People
you.
are watching. They're listening.
I don't know
All
what
right,
you're talking
we
about.
were okay.
Gosh,
We were on a Zoom
It's gotta
call
be-
with.
It can't be.
Oh,
It can't be Mark.
Yeah. I'll tell it.
Yeah.
We're on a Zoom call with Paylocity, and he's he did a really good job. And at the end of the call, he's like, "So who here is on the sales front? Like, I recognize two of you from Retireholics, but I only the two of you." And we're like, "Which two?"
No,
Justin
yeah.
and Chad. He doesn't recognize Roby.
Oh,
And
okay.
we lost our shit. I'm like, of all the people not to recognize, we walk around Vegas and everybody's like, Roby, oh my gosh, it's Robe Guy. And he didn't
Yeah.
recognize Roby without
And
the hat on.
how
the
many
robe.
times does Justin get left out of someone's post
All the
online?
time. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, okay, it's just gonna be
They're like-
another one of those.
At Chad, at JD, at Mark, yay, Retireholics. And then we send it to Justin in a group chat, and I don't even notice. And he goes, motherfucker. I'm not even- No, I'm just saying, like, I forget. I talk shit about like big companies. And then 2 days later, I get a private message from one of them on LinkedIn. All the time I go, oh my God, I forget that people are listening. So I go hashtag guideline sucks. And I'm sure someone from Guideline will write me in a few days and be like, oh, fuck you, fucker. Okay. Brandon and I should say I picked the song. We didn't really watch the video all the way through. I heard it on the way back from Vegas on the radio. I don't think it's the best song in the world, but whatever. We just picked it. So play it, and we'll see you next week, everybody.